Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here on my home turf because many of you have been asking for more reviews of the cars in Raiti's Rides garage, and I figured, you know what? I want to make all of you happy, and what better way to do it than to kind of do an update on one of my favorites. It's this vehicle right here. This is my very own 2020 Shelby GT350R Heritage Edition. But before we just jump in and go on throttle with that Voodoo V8 underneath the hood, let's talk about what's going on here. So I have driven a lot of cars over the years. I've had the pleasure and the honor of driving a lot of cars over the years. We've been doing this since 2017, and the Shelby GT350 from the get-go always made my heart pitter-patter. There were plenty of opportunities to review other people's Shelby GT350s, but then finally in 2020, after all of your great support, you know, the family is growing, the Raiti's Rides family, of course, I had to try to obtain that dream car, that everyday obtainable dream car, a Shelby GT350. Now, when I put the order in, the Heritage Edition wasn't even a thing. And I put that order in at the end of 2019. Because of the movie Ford versus Ferrari, in January, late January, Ford decided out of nowhere, we're gonna honor Ken Miles and we're gonna make a GT350 Heritage Edition. So you could get this car as a standard GT350 or like mine as an R. And they only came Wimbledon white with the Guardsman blue stripes and the nice side stripes, that GT350 side stripe. Now, a lot of people have wondered why I kept this car. Why have I held on to this car? Why didn't I get a Shelby GT500? Why aren't I getting a Mustang GTD? So what we're gonna do is, not only am I gonna give you a little update on how she's doing, we're also gonna talk about that and share some of that voodoo magic when we go on throttle. Remember, 8,250 RPM. So without further ado, hop in shotgun. We're gonna fire up my Shelby and let's go for a little spin. Hi guys, we're in it to win it. You're riding shotgun with me in my Shelby GT350R Heritage Edition. And right away, the bottom line when it comes to this car is that 5.2 liter flat plane crankshaft V8, that Voodoo engine, such a unique power plant that's never gonna be replicated. Now, since I've owned the car for 5 years now, she's really been a pleasure to drive. Everything has been working wonderfully. Everything from air conditioning to all the controls, the gauges, all those goodies. The biggest thing that you have to be concerned about, especially when you go GT350R, is that heritage, on the R is the splitter up front, very, very low. The R, any of the R's of the GT350 lineup sit lower than any Mustang, period. Even the Shelby GT500. So something to be mindful of and very careful about. Having the Tremec 6-speed is another part of the equation. It's such a good transmission. It's simply fantastic. Nice short throws, crisp engagement. And these are the things that led me to buy a Shelby GT350, are things like the Tremec, are things like that Voodoo flat plane crankshaft V8. I went ahead and got the Recaros. You can, of course, option in leather seats if you want to, but when you go R, you have to go with the Recaros. But I mean, with the MagneRide suspension, the car does not ride harsh at all. I think the biggest thing that you have to be careful of is with the Cup 2Rs, especially with the width, there is some trembling that happens. And what trembling is where the car will follow the ruts in the road very, very easily. So you just have to be mindful of that. But if you're looking for that balanced, high performance V8 muscle car, this car is so balanced, it's ridiculous. There's just no way that I could get rid of her. Even with things that come out that are faster, more exotic, there's just something really gritty about driving a Shelby GT350, and it just makes it very special. It's a very, very special feeling. Another thing that does get a little worrisome besides the front splitter, of course, is the carbon fiber wheels. You don't want to scratch those. You don't want to curb them. When you're driving, it's crazy just how light the steering is because you have less rotating mass, not only up front, but then we got less rotating mass out back. And that's that unsprung weight that you could really feel between a GT350 and a GT350R, especially when you turn up the wick. The other thing I love about the GT350R is that it comes resonator delete. So you get a nice throaty, louder exhaust sound, and it also has some nice pops and bangs that go with it. But doing heel toe downshifting and the way that this car corners is just ridiculous. You would think that the clutch is heavy. It is not heavy whatsoever. It's got a nice feel, good pickup point. It's just the thing you got to remember with these flat plane crankshaft engines is that you don't have a lot of grunt down low. But once she starts spinning, watch out, she comes on like a freight train. But it just puts a smile on my face every time I get behind the wheel. And like I said, it's a very special experience. But we need to go on throttle. We need to go all the way up to 8250. Are you ready? Make sure we got nobody around. On throttle, here we go! 8250. Nice. Oh, that sound. That sound, that sound. I hear it in my dreams. I hear it as soon as I wake up. I love it. I absolutely love it. I know a lot of people ask, Joe, are you going to do any mods to her? To be honest with you, for me, she's perfect. I don't need anything else when it comes to my Shelby GT350R, just because she drives so well. The Tremec is so amazing. I mean, it just all comes together. You do have some vision that's blocked out the back with the higher wing, the carbon fiber wing on the Shelby GT350R, but that just comes with the territory, right? It's all part of what the GT350R is all about. My advice, if you're not really gonna be concerned about, going super nuts through the twisty bits and you're not doing a track day at all, I think you'd be just as happy with a GT350. Of course, if you could get an R, go for it. But let's see how she handles. Here we go. On throttle! Look at rev range and so balanced. That's the thing that I love about this car, is that she is so balanced. Yes, the GT500 is faster, it's got more horsepower, it's got all this other stuff, but it's not as balanced as this car is. This car is very, very balanced, and just another reason why I had to have her. I couldn't resist. And yes, I know that there are people, unfortunately, that have had engine issues with their Voodoo V8s. It's one of those things, if you take care of the car properly, fingers crossed, you won't have any issues. But, I mean, issues can happen with any car. So if you're concerned about, you know, is the engine gonna let go and da-da-da-da-da-da, you probably shouldn't buy any car, because every car has its issues. And especially for some reason, the ones that are really unique and stand out. You seem to have information out there like Subaru WRX STIs and things like that where people are having issues. And I'm not saying it's not real, it's just, you gotta, you know, it's a balance, right? Not everybody is posting, hey, I had a great day with my Shelby GT350R. But that's what I'm doing right now, is we're having a great day, and it's been a great experience overall, ownership-wise, when it comes to my Shelby GT350R. So there's one person that you can think of, Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, that is having a very good experience with his Shelby GT350. But I need to go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go! Look at that heel toe. So nice. And the great news is that as you get higher in the rev range, she just keeps pulling. It's not like you get to 7,000 RPM, 7,500, and she starts losing steam. She pulls strong all the way up to 8,250. That's the amazing thing. Steering feels good. You can adjust the steering feel separate from the modes. And of course, you got your limited slip diff, all the goodies to get you to hook up. But you just gotta be careful with that front splitter. That's the one thing you gotta be very, very mindful of. And on bigger speed bumps, sometimes you can scrape the rear diffuser. But let's go on throttle one more time. Are you ready? On throttle! Look at this. God, the sound of that V8. Great feedback. On throttle! Absolutely stupendous. I love the Recaros. They hold me in well. They look killer. And of course you have a lot of real analog gauges. But you can see from the road, the steering, if you're not holding on to that wheel, it gets a little sketchy because of the Cup 2R tires. If you change out the tires to maybe like a 4S, usually then that changes. But we're gonna go ahead. I hope that you've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun. The great news is there's other cars in the Raiti's Rides garage that I want to share with you. So why don't we go ahead, let's get back, we'll wrap this one up, and then we'll go grab another one and see what's so exciting and why I have that one in the garage. Well, let's go through this last few twisties here. Look at this. Look at this. All right, I better wrap this one up or we're never gonna get to the next one. I'll see you in a split second. right, guys, always a pleasure to take you on a ride with me when we go on throttle. It's even better when it's one of the cars from the Raiti's Rides Garage. So this is gonna be the first of many updates and showing you into Raiti's Rides Garage, where I'm actually creating a special playlist, Raiti's Rides Garage, which is gonna feature these reviews. And if you like what you see, definitely let me know in the comment section. But besides let me know what you think about this concept, what do you think about my Shelby GT350R? Are you glad that I held on to her? Do you think it's one of those cars to hold on forever? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. We got to thank LGR. She's been working hard as ever, and she really supports showing more of the on-throttle action with the Raiti's Rides Garage vehicle. So thank you, Lori, for being so freaking amazing. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.